There is a moment before a woman cheats that most men never notice, not because the signs are hidden, but because the lies sound harmless, emotional, or innocent on the surface. Female psychology reveals patterns that show exactly where her mind is drifting long before her actions ever cross the line. And the truth is this: women rarely cheat without first rewriting the story inside their own minds. These 4 lies are the emotional groundwork she lays down before betrayal ever happens. By the time she speaks them, her heart has already started stepping away. The first lie begins softly, almost gently. "I just need some space." She frames it as emotional exhaustion, stress, or needing time for herself. But the real meaning behind this sentence is far heavier. Women ask for space when they begin withdrawing their emotional energy from the relationship. It isn't about needing time alone, it's about creating psychological distance so she can reattach somewhere else. This lie sounds peaceful, but underneath it is a shift in loyalty. When she says this, she is not disconnecting to heal. She is disconnecting to detach. She stops sharing her thoughts with you. She starts filtering her emotions. She becomes vague about her day, about her feelings, about her plans. That space becomes the emotional doorway she steps through whenever she wants to think about another man, reconnect with someone from her past, or entertain attention she knows she shouldn't respond to. Most men think giving her space solves the tension, but what they don't realize is that space becomes the environment where betrayal can grow unchecked. Once she creates emotional distance, she no longer feels the same level of responsibility to the relationship. She feels freer, lighter, less accountable. And in that emotional gap, temptation becomes louder. The second lie appears disguised as reassurance. "He's just a friend." A woman rarely declares this unless she already knows her connection to him feels deeper than it should. When she speaks these words, she's not telling you the truth. She's telling herself a story she hopes you will accept so she can avoid confronting her own emotional drift. This lie is the bridge between emotional attachment and emotional betrayal. When she says he's just a friend, watch the change in her behavior, not her words. Her tone becomes softer when she talks about him. She becomes defensive when you question the connection. She messages him at strange hours or hides the chat, or laughs a little too quickly when his name appears. A woman who is genuinely uninterested never needs to explain a platonic relationship. Explanation itself is the warning. Female psychology shows that emotional cheating always begins with a man she labels harmless. She says he's a friend to protect the fantasy she is building inside her mind. She says it to reduce your suspicion and reduce her guilt. But behind that phrase is an emotional shift. She's now sharing parts of herself with another man that once belonged only to you. This lie is not about the words. It's about the comfort she has in speaking them. When she calls him just a friend, she is already more connected to him than she wants you to believe. The third lie comes during conflict or emotional distance. "I'm fine. Nothing is wrong." This lie is not spoken to avoid an argument. It is spoken to hide emotional truth. A woman who is truly fine will talk. She will express. She will communicate. But when she begins to shut down emotionally, when she shields her inner world from you, it means she is sharing those emotions with someone else. This lie signals emotional detachment, not emotional peace. When she hides her feelings, she isn't protecting herself. She's protecting her secret. She no longer wants to explain her mood, because explaining it would reveal how far she has drifted. She avoids deeper conversations because intimacy requires honesty, and honesty threatens the emotional connection she is building outside the relationship. When a woman begins using silence as a shield, cheating is never far behind. She stops asking for comfort from you because she is seeking comfort somewhere else. She stops relying on you emotionally because she has found another place to land. The quietness becomes louder than any words she could say. Her emotional distance is not confusion. It is preparation. What most men miss is that "I'm fine" is never a neutral statement. It's a doorway closing. It's her withdrawing into an emotional world she no longer wants to share with you. And the more she hides behind that lie, the further away she moves. The fourth lie is the most painful because it feels honest. "I don't know what I want anymore." This lie is not about confusion. It is about conflict. Women use these words when they are emotionally torn between two different attachments. She says she doesn't know what she wants, but in reality, she knows exactly what she wants. She just doesn't want to face the consequences of admitting it. When a woman reaches this stage, the emotional connection with another man has already grown into something she cannot ignore. She feels guilt for betraying you, excitement for someone else, and confusion because she is juggling two emotional realities at once. This is the stage where betrayal becomes real long before it becomes physical. She is living mentally in two different relationships while pretending nothing has changed. When she says she doesn't know what she wants, she is giving herself permission to explore her desires without taking responsibility for them. She convinces herself she's confused so she can justify the emotional drift. She feels trapped between loyalty and longing, and rather than confront the truth, she hides behind uncertainty. But uncertainty is rarely genuine. It is an emotional smokescreen. And once she speaks these words, cheating becomes almost inevitable, because she is already imagining a life without you, justifying it, preparing for it, and shaping her identity around it. What men must understand is that these 4 lies are not random. They are psychological markers of emotional separation. They represent the emotional stages a woman goes through before betrayal ever reaches the physical level. By the time she speaks these lies, her heart has already stepped outside the relationship. Women don't cheat impulsively. They cheat emotionally first. And emotional cheating always begins with lies that protect the story forming inside their mind. I need space means I'm pulling away from you so I can drift towards someone else. He's just a friend means he's the emotional connection I shouldn't be forming. I'm fine means if I tell you how I feel, the truth might break everything. I don't know what I want means I'm already imagining another man beside me. These lies sound harmless, but they carry an emotional weight that changes the entire relationship. Once she starts speaking them, she begins rewriting her reality. She starts creating distance. She starts redefining loyalty. She starts separating emotionally long before she separates physically. And here is the harsh truth. By the time a woman cheats physically, she has already cheated emotionally, mentally, and psychologically. The act is only the final step of a betrayal that began long before you ever suspected anything. But these lies give you insight. They are warnings, not mysteries. They reveal where she is emotionally, where she is going, and what she is hiding. They tell you the truth without ever confessing it. A woman who speaks these lies is already halfway out of the relationship, even if she hasn't taken the final step. If you pay attention to her tone, her distance, her reactions, and the emotional patterns behind these lies, you will see the truth she believes you will overlook. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Because betrayal rarely begins with actions. It begins with the lies she tells before she convinces herself that cheating is the only way to feel alive again.